Okay, so I am kind of working on two projects right now. I am working on my basic hexagon English paper piecing mini quilt project that's in the different hues of purple, a little bit of white, some green, and I'm also starting on my first English paper piecing pattern that I bought. So because I bought this pattern, I'm not going to be able to show like all the different components of it. But this is an owl English paper piecing project that I purchased the pattern for. And right now, what I'm trying to do is kind of figure out how I am going to go about cutting the shape I need, but giving myself enough of a seam allowance. And I decided to use my add a quarter ruler, but because of how wide the ruler is, it's hard for me to like actually be able to measure out the seam allowance. And so during this video, you're going to just watch me struggle with this for several pieces. I went to paperpieces.com because apparently this is not a unique problem when you're cutting out some of these unusual shapes, and they already make a ruler that's designed to kind of fit into these smaller spaces and give you the seam allowance you need while cutting. But at the time I was doing this part of the project, I did not have that ruler. So I've ordered it and hopefully it will come. I also wanted to mention there is a creator, I don't know if she has a YouTube page. I need to try to find it if she does, but I know she has a TikTok, and her name is Authentically Amy, and she's doing some English paper piecing. I enjoy her videos so much. I feel like I've learned so much from her, just watching her, quilt and work on her different machines and stuff. And so at any rate, if you are interested in English paper piecing, she would probably be a great creator to check out on TikTok for sure. So I am using a mat here that flips, it spins. There are all kinds of mats like this for sale, but I enjoy the magnetic system as I use the magnets when I am sewing my EPP pieces together. So to me, it made sense to just get the little cutting board that spins. I'm using the sew line glue, and I'm just using my ruler to kind of help me fold these corners and make good contact between the paper and the fabric. As soon as my ruler comes in from paperpieces.com with, I think it's a 3/8 seam allowance. I'll have to look again and see. I will do a video using that as well. Again, I purchased this pattern, so I can't really show all the little details. In a future video, though, I will show what the overall, like the cover looks like, what you'd see if you were going to go buy the pattern. So if you're interested in making an English paper pieced owl, you can know what you're looking for. There's many out there, but I really liked this one. And so I went and sourced my different fabrics, and I'm kind of just following the guide in the pattern. And I thought it would still be helpful to kind of show my personal struggles with trying to get these pieces glued. And as always, if someone's got some advice or anything to add, something that they do that makes gluing the fabric to these unusual shapes, I would be happy to put it into practice. I am going to be quiet for a few minutes and just kind of let you watch me go through this process. I like the tedious nature of this, but for sure there were several challenging parts to this process, and there were a few times I had to recut fabric in order to get the right fit around the paper. So I would recommend, even if you've done the hexagons in the past, if you decide to jump to a pattern and you have some unusual shapes, I would recommend purchasing extra fabric to just in case you have to redo your cutting a few times. And you'll see here I have already cut out several pieces, and I am just wanting you to see how unique so many of these pieces are shaped. Okay, so I am starting to quilt my hexagon mini quilt. I'm using two different colors. I'm using a green and a purple, and I'm using an 8-weight pearl cotton thread. I think the brand is Wonderfeel. And I'm going over each stitch twice because I wanted that thicker look. And I'm basically making like these plus signs for the quilting on this project. My stitches are not all equal, and I'm definitely okay with that for this project. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, I guess it's my art and I'm the only one that has to like it. So I like eyeing it. I probably will try to be a little bit more exact in the future, but I wanted to attempt to kind of just go through the motions with this project. Remember, this is all about learning and experimenting and seeing what we like and what we don't like. So that's what's happening here. This is definitely going to take me a while to do on this mini quilt. So I will be checking back in to show my progress next week. And hopefully my ruler will be here from Paper Pieces, and I can finish off cutting the parts of the owl out, and I can start piecing that. I'm considering trying a whip stitch again instead of doing a back stitch, a flat back stitch for the owl. I'm just not sure yet. And I actually purchased bias binding for this particular quilt, so I've already got that made. And so as soon as I'm done with the stitching here, I'll be able to get to the binding process pretty fast and get that done. So I'm kind of excited about that, but I'm going to take my time and try to enjoy this process. If you have any recommendations or suggestions, happy to take them. And I'll be checking back in next week with some updates.